Okay, what are we doing tonight? One thing I want to do is pop these bolts out on this side, two on the other side, tilt this thing forward so I can get to this compressor. Couple things. I need to get some numbers off of it so I know exactly what we're dealing with here. And it was a bit of controversy when I put this thing in, when I mounted it, because I wasn't sure if a compressor can run backwards, and some people saying it can and some people saying it can't, and I don't know the difference. So I could go talk to a truck company, probably a repair shop or something. They could tell me. But cousin Bale and I were discussing this, and he said, "No, he doesn't see why it make a difference. It's pistons going up and down, you know, and they, no matter which way it turns, the pistons still go up and down. So what difference does it make?" Anyway, it's so close to the block there, and that's fine because my pulley's lined up, but I don't really like what I had to do. I had to put this pulley on here, and it extends pretty far forward. You know, maybe I'll talk about that after I get the hood open so you can see more what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna mount the governor, and that's not a problem. That'll fit there. But what about when I come off of there, off of this side with some fittings? You know, am I going to be able to make some little elbows there and get out of there okay? I think so, probably. Yeah. But there's another issue I'll talk to you about when I get the hood open. Stand by. Buckle up and hang on. Let's see what's going to happen next around here.
We're going to shoot over and pick up old Wayland wire over there. He does some cool stuff.
Hey, welcome to Rat Rods. My name's Wayland Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Wayland Wire's Old Iron. We got a lot to do today. We got to kind of rework those Dagmars a little bit and build some brackets to go up underneath, so they're going to be good and solid. They're going to be mounted on the bottom and on the top. Twixt me and you, we'll get it figured out. Let's get busy. What I was saying about this pulley is I don't really like that, how far out that is. I'm just kind of worried about the tension on that, because I think this compressor is going to pull pretty hard on a belt, you know. So I don't really like that. And I talking in the video when I built all this about how I had to get so close there, and somebody said, well, just put a spacer behind the pulley. Well, I don't have enough bolt. I don't have hardly any threads. It's flush in there right now. The nut is flush at the end of the bolt, and you know, that's as good as I can do. I can't put a spacer in there. So if I were to turn this thing around, well, I could run off the main pulley here, like God intended for it to, and then there would be no issue. See, originally this would have been sitting way up here on top, way up on top. We gained 430 some new subscribers in the last month, and I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for signing up. Hope you realize what you've signed up for. Anyway, for the newcomers, this is a 1960 so 60 something GMC V-12, and most people don't know they exist, and they also made a V8, and most people don't know about that. I didn't till I saw one on YouTube. Never heard of it in my whole life. And cousin Balenwire's got one in a 74 GMC fire truck, and that thing sounds so good. Such a unique sound. You know, I followed him to Des Moines to go to the Good Guys car show, and oh, I said I could listen to that thing all day, and I did. So this is was built up until about 1972, and then the V8 is one that's what replaced this. They quit using this one and put the V8 in. It's a 637 cubic inch, and I don't know what kind of horsepower or torque it has, but this one is 702 cubic inch and has 275 horsepower, but it's only 275 horse, and it redlines at 2400. It's the lowest revving gasoline engine that ever came out of Detroit, as far as I know. 630 foot-pounds of torque at 1600 RPM. The crank looks like a little over 4 feet long and weighs 180 pounds. Now, when Balenwire was here, he bought my 2 spare engines. I had some parts. I had one that had good innards and a bad block, and another one, good block, that had bad innards, and he took them home with him, and he's going to be tearing them down because he's going to do them right, you know, machine them and everything. And that's going to be a good video. I'll let you know when that's coming up. So anyway, to the newcomers, that's what's going on. That's what this is. I was watching TheeTravisB. If you haven't seen his videos, they're really good. He does a rescue thing, kind of like Derek does, but he's really good and entertaining. Something about his voice and his cadence and rhythm that just kind of keeps you engaged, unlike me. So, yeah, there's a myth on the internet, and I suppose, you know, everywhere before the internet even, that this is 2 V6s put together. Travis and his dad Rick were doing a live stream the other night, and I asked him, I said, hey, Travis, ask your dad if he knows about the V-12. And he goes, oh yeah, that was something back in the 60s where they put 2 V6s together. And well, no, that's a myth. This is one block with 4 heads. Now it runs like 2 6-cylinder. It runs like 2 separate engines, and that's why it sounds so very unique. If you look on YouTube for the Spitfire, World War II Spitfire airplanes, that's what this thing sounds like. And the reason it does that is it's got 2 cylinders that fire at the same time, all the time. There's always 2 cylinders firing, bam. So because that crank weighs 180 pounds, 1 cylinder can't get all that stuff in there rolling. It's just too much. So and GMC never called it a V-12. They called it a twin 6. So that's why people get confused about that. They think it's 2 inches bolted together somehow. When I first got this thing, some guys trying to tell me the crankshafts were bolted together. I'm not sure that worked very well, but anyhow, I got to get some numbers off of that, and then I think what we might do something else tonight. We might tinker with that foghorn a little bit. I've got to figure out where I'm going to mount that thing. Yeah, I know I could put it right in front of the grill, but I don't want to cover up my grill. I mean, it would add to the steampunk effect. I'll give you that. I've had a lot of people suggest it, and it could happen, but I really don't want to cover up that grill. But we'll see how it goes. And no, a couple comments. No, I'm not going to put a cow catcher on it. All right. We have issues. You know, I thought initially that, I think I said something about in the video, that this was cut off a little bit shorter, one of them. Well, that's not the case. That's not what's going on. And I discovered, I don't know, during that video at some point, I guess. Anyway, that video was getting really long, and I didn't get into it, but what happened was nobody caught it. 8,000 people or so, 6,000, I don't know what, saw some videos before this last one, and then they never made the connection. There was a big crease in this fender right here. And I got my cheap little Harbor Freight kit out there, and it had dollied out PDG. So you guys didn't notice it, but it had a big crease in it because some Archie backed into it with something, I don't even remember what, and put a big crease in that fender. Well, when I was tightening all this up and everything, I dollied that out, and it came out real good. But I was having trouble getting all this stuff, you know, those bumpers, bumperettes, Dagmars, whatever you want to call them. Something just wasn't working right. And I talked about this frame, maybe one side being shorter than the other. Well, that's not what's going on. What happened was when I hit this, it pushed that fender back. And that's why one of these is cut shorter than the other one. And I'm going, why is that going on? And I finally discovered the issue that this fender is shoved back. I want you to look at this. See, here's the deal. We just show it all here on Welding Myers Old Iron, the good, the bad, and the ugly, my mistakes, how bad I screw up, setting things on fire, trucks falling off the lifts, all my fault, did it all, you know, and we just try to own it all here. And you can see, you know, how my brackets fit up here, my mounting brackets. You can see how much quality OCD went into that. And then you go over here and look this other side. I shouldn't even show you guys, but I'm going to because it's the way it is around here. Look at that. So that fender is shoved back 1/2 inch. And that's causing me issues because I would lay this bar, I would look at it, and when I get it eyeballed, well, one piece is longer than the other one. And I go, why is that? And I started measuring from the front of the Dagmar to the fender, and you can see a difference. So I'm going to have to bolt this fender here, and then it bolts up in here, and I'm going to have to move that fender back. I got to take it off and move my bracketry back, and then fit the fender back up. I'm looking for my tape measure here. So what that means is, yeah, so almost 3.5. This is yeah, it's about an 1/8 inch, about an 1/8 inch difference in this distance here, and here to here. So one of these, or maybe both, I'm gonna have to cut my little tack weld off there. My little tack weld that's burned all the way across and all the way down the side, and welded without any argon. So it's pretty ugly. But, you know, we're just going to have to do what we're going to have to do. So I won't bore you with all this probably, but things have got to be redone. So I'm going to lose a day here. I'm going to lose a night. It's 1 step forward and 3 steps back, but that's all right. I can handle it, and I'm going to handle it. All right, we got our fender shoved back forward where it's supposed to be. Got our bracketry all OCD'd and parallel again. And I even dollied out some of the dents out of this thing. I tell you what, that's some. Man, I could go some more there. This is some Detroit iron there, boy. That stuff is tough. This wasn't getting it. I had to use that 3-pound hammer to even, you know, to even make a dent in it, as they say. I'm gonna work on that a little bit more. I don't care if it's lumpy, but anyway, that was just a little secondary deal there. This is what I'm looking at. We now have, when I laid this straight edge all the way across fender to fender, now we have equal distance between the frame horn and this rod here. See that? Yeah. I can tell, but I can't hold it up there and measure it too, but I can tell. You know, my eye don't lie. I can tell we got equal distance there. So now I can go ahead and cut that 1/2 inch off of that one Dagmar that was a little bit longer. You know, when I started out with these things, I just wanted to get some kind of conical shape here. And this is blunt, this is flat on the end, and I didn't like that, so I just added these on just to give it a little more cone shape. And it didn't even dawn on me until I was all the way done with it that I was really building some real Dagmars there. Some of you, if you don't know who Dagmar is, you Google it. She was a Hollywood hottie back in the 50s, and you know, I had some pretty interesting comments. Somebody told me I need to put a bra on it. No, come on, you know. Oh, come on, guys. One comment said, and I know the guy's just messing with me, joking with me. He says, "You're a bad man." I go, no, I'm not a bad man. I just got a sense of humor, and I think God's got a sense of humor too. You know, if you don't believe that, just take a look at the person sitting next to you. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go to hell just for having a little chuckle now and then. All right, that's enough about that, I guess. Okay, so yeah, one of these is longer than the other one, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to cut it off and make it right. I'm probably going to have to move this too. This weight and wire tack here with no argon. I may as well just go ahead, because I know that's what's going to happen. May as well cut it off. But I'm not going to have you guys watch me repeat everything. I'm going to shut the camera off and get done what I need to do, and then we'll move on to something else. Well, now, I don't know anything about polishing. Well, I don't know anything about much of anything, but I've got a couple of different levels of rouge, different grits, I guess, of the polishing compound, and I got a new little buffing wheel there. And when I got those little bowls from Wally World, they came 3 to a set, so I got an extra one here that I can practice on, and they're dull. These bowls I picked up at Wally World, they are stainless steel, I guess, real shiny on the inside and dull on the outside, and I would like to make them shiny like this. It came in a package of three bowls, so I got one to practice on, I guess. And I had my polishing compound, 2 brand new tubes of it, and you know, 15 minutes ago I laid them down somewhere, and I haven't been able to find them since. And I do that all day long. starting to cut it. I'm gonna have to put a couple of screws in my little machine here. Yeah, McGuire's this is just some polishing compound, but it's working. You can see how dull it is right there. And this is where I buffed on it just a little bit. Before, after, before, after. Yeah, it's a little bit shinier there. I guess I can get there eventually with that, but I'd sure like to find my rouge. Yeah, the old barkeeper's friend. That stuff works pretty good. There's before and after, or here's a comparison. Yeah, it's gonna shine up, I believe. I'll keep at it. Hey, something else that's working really well, I found, probably the best so far, is this Wright copper cream. Yeah, that really puts a shine on it. Maybe a finish shine. Well, there's a pretty good before and after. Now this after is probably not quite as good as, well, no, it's not. It's not quite there yet. Not as good as their finished polish on the inside of that bowl, but it's way better than this dull finish that it came with. And that copper cream seems to be working pretty well. So I may go ahead and buff on this a little bit more with that copper cream. Anyway, I could live with that. If that's as good as it gets, that's pretty good. I think I'll move on to the other one now. All right, been fussing and fretting once again, and I've removed them once again and reset them, and once again they are level and square and plumb. And now I need to make some kind of little bracket that comes off of here and goes into here. I can either go here and here, probably just a little twisty, you know, a little twisty thing. It comes here and then twisties, and then lines up with that bolt hole right there. And same thing over here. Yeah, that seems simple enough. You know, I went over to the box of web, the gift that keeps on giving, and I found everything I need. Once again, you know, this I need to cut out a little washer out of this, because there was a little washer like that on these lights. It goes on these lights like this. So that it goes in there and allows you to allows those lights to pivot a little bit, so you can align those, move them a little bit, rock them back a little, or forward or side to side just a little bit, and it swivels. That's the word I'm looking for. It swivels, pivot, swivel, whatever it does. Well, one of them fell on the floor, and I cannot find it. And I even started up the Dojalac and backed it out and swept the floor. And look, by the way, that thing is running pretty darn good. PDG. I thought maybe I'd have to mess with those carbs some more, you know, maybe change out the jets, swap the metering rods, leaned it out 4%. It's pretty happy. Once it warms up, it doesn't want to idle right off the bat when you first start it, but you know, pretty soon it does, and then it just sits there and it just cackles. You know, it just sits there and goes potato, 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 and I couldn't be more thrilled. So I don't know that I'm going to do a whole lot more to those carbs, but I need that little swivel. So I'm going to cut the center out of this and make me one, because I can't find it. It's here in the floor somewhere. As soon as I get that made, I'll find it, because that's how it works. That's how things work around here. Never did find my rouge. Never did find my polishing compound. Had two little tubes of it. And yeah, laid it down somewhere where I know exactly where it is, and I haven't seen it since. And that happens a lot around here. Seems like it happens a lot more than it used to. Oh boy, this is interesting, isn't it? Those spotlights. Squirrel! In the jungle, the mighty jungle, lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Wimbo way, wimbo way. Where's my safety glasses? All right, let's see how bad we did. Is that the right end? Yeah, that's the right end. Hey, that ain't too bad. Not too bad. We're off a little bit. Oh, this little distance right in here. It's a little bit long. Yeah, okay. But I think I'll just rebend it. I'll heat it up and bend it. All right, let's see if it fits. We've obsessed over this long enough that oh yeah, we've obsessed big time over this, but we got that fitting up pretty good. The holes lined up real nice, and it got a little notch there. We'll call that a divot for the rivet right there on this end, this little piece. Yeah, so I think we can go ahead and bolt it up and weld it on. So let's just do that. Well, and then we can cut out my god-awful tack there that I had to put in to get this thing aligned just right. But yeah, it's there. Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Yeah, little divot for the rivet. About that. Okay. We can put a little Welding wire tack on there now. Oh, that sounded good. And it don't look too bad either. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that little button weld, that little belly button weld there. There was a hole there before. Alright, that's good. Good enough. Good enough for who it's for. Well, that's pretty solid right there. Just about to shake the whole truck off the lift. I better stop. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Alright, let's make the other one. Found this. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Well, how about that? That's something to just kind of gnaw on for a while, ain't it? Alright guys, that'll do it for this one. Once again, I want to thank you for taking time to watch my little video. It means a lot to me. I work as hard as I can to make the best videos I can, and that may not be saying much, but but we're doing the best we can here, and picked up a few new subscribers, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time right back here on Welding Wire's Old Iron, and until then, you know I sure do appreciate you.